Did the Shah of Iran foreshadow the collapse of the IRGC that we are seeing take place today on the streets of Iran? I'm Tal the Traveling Clat, your sweet Zionist prince who is sick with a flu, and today we're going to be looking at these incredible videos of the Shah of Iran explaining in English, pure English, what exactly is going on. Let's take a look.
Adopt and decide about things that they would never even report to me.
Was there a time when you privately said to yourself, I may have to leave, before anyone suggested it to you? I may not win this battle?
It was not so much the question that I was thinking that it was time to go. I was rather thinking that like an end to something.
Without thinking of going, you were thinking maybe this is the end of an era.
Of something. Of me, of an era, or of something. So the question is that, so all those forces which were liberated and we should have established this beautiful democracy, where are they today? And as I said, either outside the country or in hiding. 1.5 million people, Iranians, have left the country. Not only the rich people, but the best brains of the country, the best minds of the country, they have all left. Everybody who can leave the country is leaving the country. So where are those people in the Bar Association and in other places who were promising democracy and these things? Where are they today? You ask me why they are concentrating so much against me, my person, and accusing me of mass murdering or even money manipulation, which is very far from my nature. The adopting this Nazi-like propaganda is something quite curious. It comes in the picture that the man there now, you see, he doesn't want to hear about the history of our country one day before he came back to Tehran a year ago and took over. He says the history of the country does not exist. There has not been a single good king in the history of Iran. So he thinks that the history of Iran starts with him on whatever it was, February of 1979. That's why they are concentrating so much on me, because I was the king. The history of Iran must disappear. With I as a king, with the other kings, with everything that existed before February 1979. A patriot must think of the future. I'm thinking of the year 2000. If we kept our youth and our population out of the orbit of the new technology, how could we be competitive with the rest of the world in the year 2000? Unless we are ready to fall in the category of the 5th or 6th grade nations. Now they say that boys of 15 and girls of 13 could marry. Our population explosion is 3.2 already. Soon it will become, I don't know, in the category of 5 to 6%. How are they going to feed these mouths? Especially if what now is making the wheels turn somewhat, that is oil money, will be finished. it's only through technology and mastering the science, and the future of the world is based on technology and science. And this is only in the Western world that you could find. So the man is not thinking of the country or its future, only about his hatred against me. I'm thinking of the country, of our people, of our future, and he's just want to destroy what I am. That's the difference. And when I tell you, Mr. Frost, that I still cannot understand, I will repeat that again. I still cannot understand what has happened.
If you had your time as Shah over again, those 37 years, what would you have done differently?
Well, now probably I will say a few things, because something went wrong, obviously. And in addition of either saying the truth or making yourself excuses and all kind of things to defend yourself against the failures, but probably in addition to all the intrigues from within and without, something had gone wrong. And this is what I think about. I have recently published a book in which I elaborate on some of these subjects, but I will tell you now that either we started a little too late the liberalization program, or we started a little too early and too fast. Either we should have started it in 1973 instead of 75 or 6, or at a time of crisis, when we were seeing that things were moving in the direction of complete chaos and anarchy, then to take our time, first to re-establish law, order, and the execution of rule, implementation of rule, and then start to liberalize again. It's one of those two things, but I was following my inner instincts.
How do you think future generations of Iranians will view your 37 years?
The truth and the reality of history could not be kept always in the shadows. That is impossible. Truth will come out in any case, sooner or later.
And at that point, in 50 years' time, how will future Iranians judge you?
50 years, I hope it will be sooner than that.
Well, whenever, I was saying, how will your people, after a period, judge you?
Well, if they read history, they will see what it was before my father, what it was when I took over, and what it was when I left.
Do you feel that your people let you down, or that you let your people down?
First of all, when we say the people, we cannot talk about all the people. That's absolutely not true. I can say that the silent majority remained silent. And if I let my people down, it was for the purpose that I tried to explain, that a king cannot be a dictator and the throne could not be based on blood. This is my only explanation for what it is worth.
Did your people let you down, do you think?
Well, the majority remained silent.
Is the worst thing about being here thinking of your homeland?
Well, here or anywhere outside my country is the same. Question is that you cannot stop thinking about your own country.
What do you miss most about it?
No, what I miss, or what makes me really cry, is that we could have been this year, surely by the end of '82, something quite viable. And what are we now? What has it served? The religion? Democracy? Human rights? The rule of the people?
Honestly, this ending brought some tears to my eye. I'm not gonna lie. It really did bring some tears to my eye. Very, very sad. Mohammed Reza Pahlavi passed away shortly after this interview. He died of a battle with cancer in Cairo, Egypt, exiled from his home. I'm the last person who's going to sit here and say that everything that he did as the Shah and everything that the Pahlavi family did as, the dynasty for the 30 plus years that they were in power was perfect. I know that people did suffer under them. I know it wasn't perfect. And I even think that Reza Pahlavi, the crown prince today, his son, has openly talked about it. I remember he went on the PBD podcast and Patrick definitely grilled him on specific issues, and he did answer for some of them, which is something you don't get often. And when I talk to friends of mine like Armin Navabi from the Atheist Republic, and we talk about, well, what's the option for Iran now, right? We need somebody to rule. Who's coming in? We don't really have options. Like it's never an ideal situation to go back to the same monarchy that was overthrown, because there was a reason for it to be overthrown. I'm not saying that the reasons were legitimate. I'm not justifying the Islamic Revolution, but there was obviously a clear portion of the public that was also not happy with it. What we need is a new future for Iran. And I'm hoping to God that Reza Pahlavi can bring that future. The crown prince can bring that future, learning the mistakes of the past and what his father knew on how to lead Iran. And I want to clarify why this is why I got emotional there towards the end. Two things. One, I only recently found out in the last 6 months that one of my great-grandparents was actually born in Iran, in Urmia. This was sort of known as the Azerbaijani part of Iran. It's like northwest Iran in the Caucasus. I have a whole part of my family lineage called the Lakhluchi or the Nashtidan that come from there. My grandfather was one of those tribes people. And at some point they got exiled from Iran as well. And they spent a long time just traversing around the Caucasus. And these were Jews that were thrown out from the Babylonian exile. So they ended up there as wanderers and then had to travel through Georgia and Azerbaijan and Armenia and Russia, Kazakhstan, Turkey, Lebanon, Syria before settling back in the Holy Land in Israel, their home. And And in addition to that, I've mentioned this in other videos, my grandmother, Miriam, my Iraqi grandmother, my last remaining grandparent that's still alive, her life was saved by the Shah of Iran. In the 1950s, when Jews were being exiled from Iraq, the Jewish community of Iraq was being kicked out of their homes after the Farhud, after 10 years of boiling anti-Semitism that was like bubbling up on the streets there. When they fled Iran, Tehran was the one who facilitated their flights to Tel Aviv. So again, while I didn't have to live under him, I didn't have to live with his rule, I didn't suffer under him in any way. It's hard to see him because you see this, like, there's a genuine passion, and he's so correct. Look at where we are now. Look at where we've been. I've grown up my entire life. My mom has grown up pretty much her entire life. My dad and my grandparents have lived a good portion of their lives suffering under the rule of the current mullahs, the Ayatollah, who have destroyed Iran. We've got more clips here from Mohammad Reza Pahlavi.
I think that Mr. Khomeini, uneducated person, if you ask him if there is protein in in oats or not, could not tell you. He could have planned all this, masterminded all this, set up all the organization. I know that top experts in propaganda were used to show us like tyrants and monsters, and the other side as democratic, liberal revolutionaries who wanted to save the country. I know how mean the BBC, British Broadcasting Corporation, had been towards us. You think that Mr. Khomeini, uneducated...
There you go. You've got a trend from almost 40 years ago of BBC lying through their teeth to destroy people's reputations. All right, here's another clip.
Going to feel it. You in the West are just filling your heads, filling your news media and everything by advocating free countries, good members of the United Nations, good behavior, and this and that. But the reality of the situation is not always the same. It's again brutal force, bullying weaker countries.
But do you think the West should be doing that then in response to, presumably you're referring to the Soviets bullying weaker countries? Do you think we should be doing that? Is that what you're saying?
I'm saying then stronger countries. Now, how do they get strong? This is something different. But stronger countries are bullying weaker countries. And what can the United Nations do about it?
But what do you think the West should do about it? I mean, do you think that the West should be
the West,
responding in some way?
The West, when we talk about the West as if, it cannot be as if we talked about an entity. The West is divided, very divided. You can't talk about the West as a whole.
America, and perhaps Britain as well. What would you like to see leading Western countries doing about what you describe as bullying?
At least let know the rest of the world where you are going to stand. If you want to give up all the way, okay, that's your business. But the rest will know where they are.
But by stand, do you mean put in military forces into countries like Somalia and Rhodesia perhaps and other places? Or do you mean simply say something?
Yes. Say and mean something. I don't want to be precise about this place or that place. But the resolution of not giving up.
Well, now, Dr. David Owen.
Fascinating, man. I honestly, I've in the last couple of years just fallen in love with the Persian people. And again, finding out that I'm actually part Persian recently was a big part of that. Take a lot of pride in it. But just the accent, I swear they could sell me my own shirt. I'm fucking in love with the accent. I just love the accent so much. I love hearing them speak. There's so much wisdom there. There's so much wisdom. And I remember when I was traveling through India about a year before the war started, I spent a lot of time with the Sufi community there, who originally was brought in from the Mughals from Iran, who came in there and created the Taj Mahal and brought the Sufi Islamic ideology. And I learned a whole new aspect, a new appreciation for Iran I didn't know about after that. And I just have so much hope for the future of Iran. And I'm really hoping that what we're seeing now is the beginnings of the downfall of this disgusting, evil regime that has tormented our entire region, all of our people, for such a long time. So, Javed Shah, I'm excited, hopefully the rise of the new king, the new crown prince of Iran, to lead us into even if it's temporary, a new future for the region, a new future for Iran. And may we have peace. Inshallah. Amen. Bezrat Hashem. I'll see you guys in the next one. I love you a long time. Goodbye, Klats.
Have you struggled with repping your Zionism in style? Well, boy, do I have a solution for you. Head to thetravelingclat.com and become a sweet Zionist prince or princess today. Or maybe even let the world know you're a white colonizer with matching hat. Tell the comments section you were thrown out of 109 countries by joining the 109 Club with a matching hat. They say it was promised to you 2,000 years ago? Double down and grab a shirt that was promised to you 3,000 years ago with a matching hat. Ever dreamed of Zionizing like me? Do it with a matching hat, damn it! Show off your Iraqi pride by being someone's Baghdadi, or showing them you were made in Iraq with a matching hat. It's time to laugh in the face of those who attack us, wear their hate with pride, and you become untouchable. TheTravelingClad.com. We got mugs, stickers, shirts, hoodies, and so much more. Go grab yourself something nice, Habibis and Habibtis. You deserve it. If you don't want to buy any merchandise, the best way to support me is by donating on Buy Me a Coffee, my PayPal, or becoming a member on my Patreon. Your support is very much needed and very much appreciated. Thank you.